my brother, who I am very close to, love dearly, he had a son and he was living in Japan, and I flew over to Japan and I met my 2-day-old brand new nephew, and I looked into those eyes, those 2-day-old, those absolutely innocent eyes, and I was filled with joy and fear. Joy for the fact that I now had this wonderful, my very first nephew to go and play with. And we play lots of hide and seek and, find the zombie, tag zombie, all those things. But he was just this innocent little child. And I knew that there's no way that he was going to have the life I have enjoyed. He wouldn't have access to the resources. He wouldn't have access to a stable climate. He wouldn't have access to food security, water security, none of those things. By the time he's 20, in 2031, we're already going to be at the beginning of the end of world as we've known it. If I didn't become part of the solution, I would be a part of the problem. I jumped into a degree in sustainability and with a business major. And because I believe business is the answer, government isn't the answer. Even if consumers want to do the right thing, it's really hard if businesses aren't providing the products and services to make it possible. I figured, business was the answer. But I see it as a triangle. It's that triangle where business, governments, and the community all work together towards a common goal. First off, we wanted to capture energy, water, waste, and materials, because carbon is associated with those four areas of work, let's call it. Resource use is how we work, it's how we live. So by measuring those first and getting our customers used to that, now we're applying the emissions that are associated with their energy use. That's fuel, electricity. It's associated with various materials that are captured. It's also very much associated with your waste. So if you're wasting food, there's a very high carbon equivalent attached to that. If you're composting your food, there's a very high negative carbon attached to that. So it's being able to show the fantastic results about operating your business, even operating your household in a sustainable way. And one day it dawned on me that I could share all this information that I'd created. I could share that with businesses, and I could share it in a really quick and easy to follow format by providing hundreds of actions about what to do in your business to become more sustainable. And that grew into Green KPI, which is what we have now. And it's grown into this really wonderful and most powerful app that helps businesses transition to sustainability. It's not about measuring. It's not about reporting. We're all used to measuring and reporting, but our main purpose is action. So Green KPI provides hundreds of actions on how to transition to sustainability. And so that when the businesses carry out those actions, complete them, they become more sustainable, which means they become more efficient. And the way we measure that change in efficiency is by introducing the capture of their invoices. So electricity invoices, fuel invoices, waste invoices, all those invoices that capture the resource use and waste production of a company. The problem with our planet is not climate change. Climate change is a symptom of our lack of sustainability. So climate change is like a pollution problem. The real problem is that we are using resources, digging up resources at a greater rate than what the planet can produce. And this is climate change, and then we are producing waste, as in emissions and many other forms of waste, at a rate greater than what the planet can assimilate. That is the fundamental problem that my nephews now will face. With Green KPI, our sustainability report, our automated sustainability report, is beamed directly to your URL as a business. And when someone clicks on that sustainability tab, you know what they're going to see? They're going to see interactive graphs where they can click around and see what you've been using where. And as they scroll down, they're also going to see how you got there, because they're going to see the actions you've completed as a company. That completely eliminates any thought of greenwashing. People can say, oh, look, from the small to the large. Oh, look what they're doing. They're composting. Oh, look what they're doing. They're recycling. Oh, look what they're doing this. They're doing all those simple things, as well as maybe some, larger things as well. Whatever the company, we've got at the moment over 400 actions to choose from. A lot of this was inspired back in 1983. I was living in Arnhem Land and spending a lot of time with true Indigenous people living off the land. And I was confronted with this circular economy because nothing was brought in. It was people were living in houses that they cut down from small trees around them. They lived off the land. They drank out of the creeks and the rainwater that they caught. It was when they needed medicine, it came from the trees. When they needed housing, it came. So what I saw was that the pharmacy was all around them. Mm-hmm. The supermarket was all around them. The hardware store was all around them. There was no waste. Everything was used and assimilated. And so this is a true circular economy, which we were there before. Nature is a circular economy.
Yes.
What changed is us. So it's not really new. We need to go back and realize, and there's a lot of places in the world that are still circular economy. Just not us, just the first world, it's something I know. When I was doing my degree, the number was that the planet could sustain 1.5 billion Australians and 15 billion Indians, purely by the way the resources are used. There's a lot more recycling and circular economy in India, or there certainly was back in the time I was doing my degree, than there is in Australia.
The circular economy, FNQ, is working with nerdy people, generous people and passionate people to make the most of our resources in our region as fast as possible. They are using data to measure the impact of the change from the circular economy. Their goal is to help as much as they can in the next 8 years to reduce our impact on the planet, but they need your help. You can do that by either subscribing, donating or becoming a member. Thank you for listening.